When you look at, obviously, the big three, you look at England versus Australia in the Ashes, or just recently, India playing in Australia, India playing in England, and you would think that there is no greater day of cricket to watch. Well, I know Abhishek from SRH. I was there during the COVID times, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and he's an amazing young player. They had a lot of great young players in that squad that I was with, not just Abhishek, but I think he's something very special. I think Yuvraj Singh have had a big influence on him. His bat speed, the way he hits the ball, the way he hits through the ball. First of all, to be invited with such illustrious company, Sir Vivian Richards, Richie Richardson, to come out to India. I've not seen those guys for quite some time. They live in Antigua, I live in Trinidad. And just to be a part of it and to feel their energy, also to feel their hurt with what's happening. Well, I mean, the pride still lives on in me in terms of I'm not a player anymore, but I have been represented the West Indies for 17 years. It is it was a dream. My greatest achievement is to be there, to follow in the footsteps of some of the greats that have played the game. I had role models like Roy Fredericks, Sir Vivian Richards, Gordon Greenidge, and to me, West Indies cricket meant a lot. Now, I do understand the question of the importance of having a combined team from the West Indies with all the English-speaking Caribbean islands. But that is going to be tested. That is going to be tested in things like the Pan Am Games. It's going to be tested in the Olympics when the West Indies cannot be a representative cricket team in those tournaments. We are from a population of about 5 or 6 million people, and the sport obviously has been diluted with the advent of other sports, other interests, and we have to cater for that. But I still believe that the strength of the West Indies lies in that unified team, and I would like to see that continue. The issue now, there is a lot more that's happening in world cricket. There's a lot more opportunities for our youngsters. And with that, again, it's going to weaken our strength. But we are all disappointed. I'm sure, we're perennial favorites around the world. And we're all disappointed in the way how things have turned out. But I don't see going our separate ways as being the answer. But again, there's going to be a lot of national interest in cricket come the Olympics, the Pan Am Games, where individual countries are going to be involved. Yeah. First of all, to be invited with such illustrious company, Sir Vivian Richards, Richie Richardson, to come out to India. I've not seen those guys for quite some time. They live in Antigua, I live in Trinidad. And just to be a part of it and to feel their energy, also to feel their hurt with what's happening. I felt that this was necessary. The meetings that we've had were very fruitful in terms of, trying to build a relationship, with India. This wasn't just a commercial visit. This was a visit, for you guys to appreciate, how deep we feel about the game, the grace that we've had in the game. And, for me, it was enlightening, and, hopefully we can benefit out of it. I think we are going to rush across to Delhi, in the next day to have a little chat with the boys. It's always tough for any country to play in India and beat India, but we want to be able to be competitive. So hopefully we can get a competitive game the next match. Well, I know Abhishek from SRH. I was there during the COVID times, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and he's an amazing young player. They had a lot of great young players in that squad that I was with, not just Abhishek, but I think he's something very special. I think Yuvraj Singh have had a big influence on him. His bat speed, the way he hits the ball, the way he hits through the ball. And what's an amazing thing, he would give me a call and he would, even though with the success that he's having in T20 cricket and maybe even the 50 over cricket, he still wants to find a way to get into the test team, which is great for someone like that to think, that big is very special. So, it's not a soft spot. I think, it's someone who I've grown very fond of. His cricket, and it's great to see that he's, sort of improved and gone into a different level. What was discussed? That was, back, a couple of months ago. I think we discussed the state of West Indies cricket. Um, the aberration of scoring 27, nobody wants to do that, but that was not just the issue. The issue lies very deep, and it's something that I would say Cricket West Indies is working on in terms of finding a better footing in terms of the foundation of the game, how we grow the game, um, the facilities that we have to improve on, and finding a way for cricketers to be a lot more competitive. There's also an issue, of course, with franchise cricket and the way how, they pull some of the players away, weakening our strength. So again, we have to work on that. Australia is able to do it. England is able to do it to keep their players loyal to their country. Um, so we have to find a way to do that in terms of, you know, there's not pointing any fingers at anybody. It's just that we've got to come together as a team, as administrators, as coaches, as players, and really and truly, if you have West Indies cricket at heart, you will find a way to move forward. I believe that cricket, of course, has evolved. At one point in time, I'd say cricket was bare skill and attrition level. Today is, it's people are analyzing you on a different level and they know what to do against you. So it's important that we get to be a part of that as well. We can't stay away and say we're going to rely on skill, we're going to rely on natural ability so Vivian Richards is going to come around the corner next week. That's not just going to happen. Even if that happened, that person still has to understand how deep the game has gone. And for me, technology is a part of it. It's a part of all sport. You know what I'm saying? What would have been an LBW many years ago, and you have to put your head down and walk in. You can challenge it. And we are going to try our best to see if we can sort of create, the finances possible to get ourselves up there. I still believe that the West Indies have some of the best natural talent. But that natural talent has to be taken to another level. You have to harness that talent. You have to coach that talent. And some people are born with it naturally. Some you have to teach that sort of thing. So hopefully, we'll get things right. It's there. I mean, I don't have to take anything back. This is not foreign to the West Indies. Everybody knows that technology is a huge part of the game now. Then you look at, obviously, the big three. You look at England versus Australia in the Ashes, or just recently, India playing in Australia, India playing in England. And you would think that there is no greater a day of cricket to watch. To me, I've been to Lords. I just watched India versus England at Lords, and there is nothing to compare with it. I hope that Test cricket does not die, but the viability of it in other nations, the smaller nations, the nations with, the inability to bring huge crowds to the game or bring big sponsors to the game, you're really and truly testing their funds when you have to put on a 5-day test match and you have to do different things. So I would rather like to find a solution to the problem than to say, I give up and that's the end of it. The interest is low. I mean, if you're not doing well as a nation and something else is popping up that's more exciting, you can see it in the crowds. I mean, and not just in the West Indies. I mean, we just saw a test match in Ahmedabad where, literally there's no one at the test match. It is waning. It is a situation. As I said to you, is that I appreciate the fact that my 17 years was spent playing majority test cricket, and I would never give that up. Today's cricketer may think differently, but I wouldn't want to lose test cricket where maybe 2 or 3 nations. I don't think it's ever going to stop because the Ashes is going to live on. India is now a force, and you listen to young Indian cricketers. They love playing the IPL. They love playing limited overs cricket, but all in the back of their mind, they want to go out there in their whites and play test cricket for India. So I don't think it will die entirely. It is a problem because if you want to do anything, where back in, 50, 60 years ago, volunteerism was a big thing. You can get things done. You can get coaches. I was coached at Harvard coaching clinic where, nobody was paid. So if you want to get things done, you have to have the capital to do it. So that is a major part. But at the same time, I would like to urge the Roston Chase and the other guys to, do they have, the cricket at heart? Do they really want to play for West Indies? And that's the most important thing, because you would find a way. You'd find a way. I mean, we didn't have better facilities 30, 40 years ago. Beverages didn't bat in better practice pitches or anything. We had to do the same thing, the same grind. But I think the passion was different. The passion to play for West Indies was different. So I urge the young players to realize that this is, a wonderful opportunity. And I'm almost sure that every single one of their parents would have had, in the back of their mind, their son playing for the West Indies, their son doing well for the West Indies, because it meant a lot back in those days. So, I agree with him, but I still believe there's an onus on each young player, to create that love and desire to play. I have two school of thoughts with that. I believe that, if a player is being picked on potential only and he doesn't have the stats to go with it, it's very difficult for him now to get to this higher level and expect so much from him. All right? I believe that because of that situation, you'd find players that are sort of maturing later on. So it's either you stick with them, age 22, 23, 24, 25, hopefully reap the benefit when they get into their late 20s, or you look at players that are seasoned, the Jason Holder, and the guys who may have matured. And I mean, if you remember, Graham Gooch scored majority of his runs in his 30s. A guy like Adam Gilchrist, Mike Hussey, all these guys started playing into that, and they came out to be some of the best in the world. So you're gonna find once in a lifetime the Tendulkars, age 16, 17, Afridi, the Garfield Sobers, where in their teenage they were able to cope with it immediately. But that's not, everybody's not going to be blessed with that sort of talent. So I'm hoping that, I would like to see a stronger first class performance before you get into sort of the international scene. Back in my day, you had to break records. You sat and watched cricket for 2 years, 20 test matches, carry the towel, carry the water before you finally got in. And during that period of time, you grew, you mature, and some mature faster than others. It is a very big problem. And first of all, get it very clear. I can't blame any single player for wanting to pursue cricket as a career outside the Western, because the disparity in what's happening, playing 5 or 6 franchise leagues compared to, playing for the Western is different. And you have to have empathy with that player. But you also have to feel that what can we do at home to make sure that player or future players understand that playing for the West Indies is also very important. That, the IPL has carved out a period of time where it's exclusive to the IPL. But, there's 6 or 7 different leagues that's popping up around the world, and everybody's sort of, wanting to do it. So I think the onus is on the West Indies, Cricket West Indies, to find a way to sort of create, unify, the efforts of the young players who want to go out, but also have them playing for us. And, a series against India, we want to play good cricket against the best team in the world. So you want your best players out there. You don't want your best players in America or somewhere else around the world. So, it is something that India does not suffer with, because, your players play here, everybody comes to play here. And, this is their stuff. England, Australia, I think they survive on the fact that their retainers are big retainers for their players. So, the need to go out and play cricket and run around the place isn't there. So, we'll have to try to work on something, because, our players, if you look at Argentina, Messi grew up in Europe, but he plays for Argentina, but he makes, he played Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, and he was allowed. And there's a lot more South American footballers that do that and eventually go back and play for their country and have the pride.